Wishing for a Christmas mortgage miracle? Patriot Trading Group wants to make your wish come true. Just enter to win on Family Values Radio website, and you can enjoy having your mortgage paid for a year. That's right. It's the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, where if you win, you'll have all kinds of extra money for other things, like a vacation, new clothes, new giant screen TV with whole home audio, whatever else may be on your wish list, because the winner will receive their mortgage or rent payments covered for a year. To enter, go to FamilyValuesRadio1010.com and click on the banner. Enter once each day to increase your chances to win, and look for bonus entry opportunities. That's FamilyValuesRadio1010.com, and enter the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, sponsored by Patriot Trading Group. See our website for details.
Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and it is Tuesday, the 10th of November. Yes, we're getting closer and closer to, dare I say it? I'm not gonna. Nope, closer to Thanksgiving. That's what we're getting closer to. Tomorrow's going to be Veterans Day. Just a little reminder to everybody out there, if you've got some vets close to you, make sure tomorrow you reach out and thank them for their service. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. Big recovery day for both gold and silver. The NASDAQ, which was up to 12,000 yesterday, at 11,500 today. The S&P is down as well. The Dow is up a little bit as the big news out of Pfizer yesterday kind of, I don't want to say wearing out, but the skepticism grows. Something about it makes me a little uncomfortable. I think the biggest thing is the fact that they didn't follow the protocol and wait the extra two, and it was only a couple of weeks, not even a couple of weeks, which leads me to believe maybe not quite as good as they were making it out to be. And again, we need something. I don't know, and everybody I talk to has a different opinion on this. Is it even possible, right? Because it's a COVID thing. You think of COVID's like the flu and the common cold, right? We don't have vaccines for these things. So people questioning that, and obviously because the virus can change and mutate and all of these other things. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I do know that people have a very healthy suspicion of vaccines, and I think rightfully so. But having said that, we'll see what happens. This is going to be something, and I don't care, works or doesn't work. They're going to force it on all of us. So just so you know, another reason for you to become more divided in this country. I have no doubt in my mind the vaccine is going to be forced down our throat, whether it works or not. It'll simply be companies paying you money on top of, yeah, and if you don't do it, you don't work here any longer. That's kind of how I envision. I think certain states, especially the blue states, they'll just mandate it in general, and then pretty soon you won't be able to get on a cruise ship, an airplane, stay at a hotel without it. That's just what I think. Don't know, but again, today gold and silver are up pretty nicely right now. Gold's up about 30, silver's up about 80, 90 cents here this morning, and we're going to kind of get away from that. And I'm not going to talk about the presidential election. I'm not going to talk about any of those things. We're going to get focused in financially. How good are these 401ks? How good are they? How good are these IRAs? It's that time of year now where we start to get information about balances, right? Because the proof's in the pudding. Wouldn't we all agree, right? Hey, do I have more or less? And when you think about the stock market that we've had since Donald Trump has taken office, and even, go back to like 2013 even. right? That's the second term of Obama. We should have huge gains in people's 401ks and IRAs. Now, it's hard because you can get a lot of information from like Vanguard and other places, but there's only one place. And of course, the central bank is the place. They combine everything. All the 401ks, all the IRAs, and tell you how good are these retirement vehicles. Because remember, there are no pensions anymore, right? They took those away. And in replacing of that, you got these 401ks. And of course, then they created IRAs and these things. How well do they work? And it's funny because when you really think about it, those should be where we're focused the most. Right? Nobody cares about, what the Dow's 29,000. Does anybody care? Not really. Because for most people, it doesn't mean anything to them. So just looking at people that actually have a balance. Forget about all the people that don't have a balance. So think about when we talk about these numbers, just remember, this is only about half of the people because the other half don't even have a 401k or an IRA. So people with balances, how are we doing? How good do these programs work? And I've been telling you for the last decade plus now as I've been watching these numbers. This is nothing more than the 401k administrators making a lot of money and you getting not a lot for it. And I'm going to prove it again today. And this is one of the things when we look at, financially, we look at what the banks and we look at the 401k and the IRA administrators. These are multi-billion-dollar companies. They pay their executives tens of millions of dollars in golden parachutes and all of these things. But have they actually earned their money? Or are they just fleecing the people that hold them? Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. And we're talking about, do the options that they give you for your retirement, do they work? Do they work? And there's only really one place that you can go to find out. Vanguard, they do a great job. They release all of their data every year. Matter of fact, I report it every year. Every year I report it. But the problem is that only is good for people that have Vanguard. If they don't have Vanguard, right, they may say, well, that doesn't apply to me because I don't have, that's not who I use. I probably did better. Maybe I did worse, whatever the case may be. But and again, IRAs, that's usually something you don't see. So the Federal Reserve just released its study. They call it a survey of consumer finances. This survey focuses solely on retirement account balances. Okay? 401ks and IRAs. And they went through and they showed, hey, how are we doing? And they broke it down by age group and they broke it down by year. And they picked, and I don't know why they picked these years, right? I don't know, but I'll just tell you the years they used, right? 2013, 2016, and through today, right? So here's the years they've used. Now you're sitting there and you're thinking about, okay, well, the stock market is doubled pretty much since 2013. Now, we know that the IRA and 401k administrators, they charge fees, but still, even if you're in a bad one and they're charging you 4%, a good one about 2%, 2 to 4%. So let's split the difference. Let's call it 3%. 7 years, 3% a year, it's 21%. You should be up, somewhere around 80%, 75 to 80%. That wouldn't be too bad. But that's not what the data shows. A matter of fact, when you actually look at all the data in these two different 401k and IRAs, you add them together. According to the Federal Reserve, the typical working household ages, 55 to 64, had a current balance of $144,000. That's all in. That includes IRAs. That's up $9,000 since 2016. Are you kidding me? That's it. $9,000? You're not even up 10%. Heck, you're not even close to 10%. Since Donald Trump has been president, the greatest stock rally that we have seen in modern times, the people closest to retirement. I mean, it baffles the mind when you really think about, you got 6%, 6.6%. That's it. I mean, think about, hey, that's 4 years. They probably whacked you for 8 to 12% in fees. So here's how it breaks down. I'm just going to give you some of these numbers, okay? 55 to 64. Now, here's the thing that bothers me about this little chart that the Federal Reserve put out. I don't know about IRAs, okay? But if you have a 401k balance and you're working, you're probably putting money into it. How could they be up so little? I mean, are you telling me that the only gains we're seeing happens to be solely from contributions? I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Go back to 2013, 55 to 64. 111,000 was the number, according to the Federal Reserve. This isn't according to me. This isn't according to Vanguard. This is our Federal Reserve saying, listen, we've looked at it. We had the MIT Mafia go and spy on everybody's balances. And this is what they came up with. So you're saying from 2013 to today that balances are only up about $33,000, okay? From 111 to 144. Well, just doing some math, basic math, if you're putting more than, let's see here, 7 years, $1,500 a year into your 401k balance, this isn't looking so good, right? I mean, you would imagine most people are putting away, especially at 55 to 64, at least 3,000, right? A year adding to their 401k. I mean, just by simple addition, let's just say the average person at this age is putting $400 a month in their 401k. That'd be $4,800. Right? You multiply that out, you should be up $33,600 just because you put more money in. Where's the gains from the stock market? They're non-existent. How about 45 to 54? Maybe the problem is those people are just too old. 45 to 54. Now, this one, I don't like this age group because that's the age group I'm in. And I know we've gotten the short end of the stick here. See, we're not old enough to be old, and we're too old to be young, right? And we're like the first big generation that we're not going to live better than our parents. We had 100,000 in 2013. Today, $105,800. $5,800 over a 7-year period. 35 to 44, they're doing a little better. 48,000 to 63,000. They actually did the best. 48,000 to 63, but that's all there is. There is no more. I mean, think about it. Even if you had the 144, by the way, half of the people got less than that, just so you know, right? And think about the other half of the population, they don't have any of that. They don't have a 401k. They don't have an IRA. So think about how dire it really is. But they said if you put this $144,000 into an annuity, it's only going to pay you $570 a month. That's it. That's all you get. Is it a month? Yeah. It's likely $570 a month. Yeah, okay. $570 a month on top of your Social Security. So plan on living on about $2,000. That's all there is. How could it be so poor? You have a stock market that was up almost 100%. And yet balances are pretty much unchanged, really, when you think about it. Put the extra money people put in, there's no gains there at all. Here's the funny thing. So I just said, okay, where was gold on October 10th, 2013? $1,298. Where's gold right now? $1,885. Gold's up 45%. If you had been buying gold from us in 2013, here's what I promise you. After fees and all that stuff, you're up way more than your IRA or 401k balance. Right? Even though, in theory, the Dow outperformed. If you pick that, you pick those two dates, the Dow's outperformed gold. But yet your retirement money, This is why I say, you know what? Try out our metals program. You're going to do better. You just are. This is ridiculous. And I know part of the problem is, right, a bunch of people went belly up. They had to cash out. They lost their job. They had this, they had that. They had bills to pay. They're busted. And this is just a huge problem, but it was just something that caught my eye. You're not going to hear about it. Wouldn't it be great if they talked about it on TV? Only the uber rich have any money in their 401ks. And if you took out the highest earners, these numbers are below $100,000. The 144,000 actually turns into about 70,000. I mean, that's just what happens. But even them, they had a balance in 20. They don't give the 2013 balance. I don't know why, but they broke out 2016 just from Trump. The highest percentage, they had $780,000 in their 401ks. Are you kidding me? Right? Well, that's where all the Jamie Dimons and the people that manage your 401ks, right? They got the Uber balances. Their balance is only up 25 grand, only to 805. The next highest level, their balance went down from 2016, from 335 to 289. The one below them, 104 is now 97. They're going backwards. But this is what happened. These people got busted, didn't they? Yeah, you were a kind of middle management. You're out. The second lowest, 72,000 in 2016, 75,000 today. And then the lowest ones where unfortunately the most people reside. They went from $26,700 in 2016 to $32,200 today. And again, remember, this is while they're adding. Not a great picture for what they're doing. And again, this is why I keep telling you, this game is rigged against you. And I still tell you, you have to be diversified. You do. But you have to start getting serious about getting some of that money into gold and silver. You just have to be. It's just going to protect you better. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break.
Sir, yes.
The stock rally that we don't get to play in. Right? And again, because it's so few companies. And remember, for most of us, and it's been a while since I've had a 401k meeting. You know, back when I was a corporate employee, at once a year, we'd have the big meeting. And they'd hand you out a folder. And inside the folder was all these pamphlets and charts, and they were in color, right? Probably the folder and everything in it probably set them back at least $20 a pop. You know what? One of the reasons, I tell you, watch out for the free report guys. I see all these ads all the time. They got 2 and 3 and 4 reports to give you. Because they want you know what though? They're smart. They know, hey, you've got a comfort level with that. Right? If you've been a corporate guy your whole life, you've seen these with the 401ks. They think it gives them credibility. Let me tell you what it really gives you. You're getting ripped off. Think about all of these 401ks and IRAs and all their free stinking reports and the millions of people that they send them out to every year, right? They gotta recover that cost. You know, and they're hitting you for all these fees, and you're sitting there, and maybe you're looking at your balance, and you're like, I'm doing better than that. I'm doing better than the numbers Joe just gave out. But how much better? And how much of that better was you simply putting more money in? That's the part that blows my mind. By all accounts, over a 6-7 year period, I mean, balances should be up, I don't know, 20 grand just on contribution, something like that, 15, 20, 25, depending on how much you're contributing. Plus, you throw in a stock market doubling. I mean, you should be up, even after fees, should be up 100%, but you're not. It's not even close. Matter of fact, when you look at the brackets that were the upper middle class and the middle class, right? And remember the picture I've been painting for you. When you look at America financially, there's only really one place we're shrinking. Okay? At the very, very top, we're growing. We're growing. At the, I'll say the 1 to 10%, so 1% and above, growing. 1 to 10, flat. The poorest two groups, growing. The only place we're shrinking, the upper middle class and the middle class. And it was so funny when I looked at the central bank's report, when they broke them down into 5 different welfare or financial categories. There was 2 whose balances actually shrunk. Upper middle class, middle class. Exactly what I've been telling you. There is a war going on, and I'm not talking about wars with bombs. I'm not talking about the war against COVID or the war on drugs, which I guess that war's kind of over. Right? That war's long gone. It's a war over your finances. And we don't even know it's happening because you've been trained. We're like Pavlov's dog, right? Just ring the dinner bell, right? And the dog figures out, oh, time for me to eat, right? He rang the bell. How many times have you seen people on TV try to convince you you're an idiot? If you don't have, why are you not in a 401k? Matter of fact, here's what's funny. You know what the central bank's big deduction out of the information I just gave you? Oh, well, we need to do a better job of getting more people in 401ks. That was their brilliant, what? I'm looking at that and thinking, man, this thing's a disaster. No one's got any money to retire. It's incredible. And they tell you, you shouldn't buy gold. Right? Well, they don't say that nearly as much anymore. But they try to, gold didn't pay interest. Remember that argument, right? Gold doesn't pay interest. Yeah, guess what? The banks don't pay interest either. Who's the dummy now? Most people's bank accounts cost them money. And they think they try to convince, oh, it's so difficult. What are you going to do with it all? I mean, you go out, you buy gold. Where are you going to put it all? Idiots. A shoebox. If you went out and bought a pair of shoes, maybe your wife's, if your wife's like my wife, right, she's got a bunch of shoe boxes in the closet. Just take one of those. You could fit, if you bought it, but did it in $20 gold pieces, I don't know. Let's see here. Hold on. I probably should have done that. I didn't know I was going to talk about this. So, bear with me here. I'm going to say $3 to $6 million, maybe even 10, depending on how big the shoebox is. That's how much gold you can fit in a shoebox. So when they ask you where you're going to put it all, you calm down, right? If you came in here with 50 grand, okay, You could put that gold in your pocket. And no one would really even know. You would know, but no one would really know. Your wife in her purse. Now, again, I'm going to assume that my wife's, they got everything in there. Tissues, hard candies, you name it, they got it in there. You could fit $1 million into your wife's purse and walk around without anybody knowing anything. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592. According to the central bank's own data, 401ks and IRAs just aren't working. I wish they were. I mean, we need them to work. What are we going to do? Right, but this is why, right, we're seeing everybody want more from the government. Everyone's talking, said McDonald's. They had pretty good earnings yesterday. You know what their CEO said? We need more stimulus. Every CEO, we need stimulus, stimulus, stimulus. It's another word for handout, handout, handout. They've broken us. But they just did it by a little bit. You don't even notice. Then it takes someone like me to come out and explain it to you. And then, you think of all the junk they've said over the years. It doesn't pay interest. Warren Buffett, it's just a pretty rock. Well, pretty enough for him to invest billions of dollars in it now. How do you store it all? Now, in fairness, if you buy silver, nothing wrong with silver. Silver's done just fine. I think silver's going to have a great run. I personally hate it. And I only hate it because it's not very portable. Well, I'll use yesterday as a prime example. Yesterday, we sold 10 cases of Silver Eagles. Just my little operation here. 10 cases, Silver Eagles, weighs 420 pounds. So go back to those shoe boxes again. Figure you got 10 shoe boxes, 420 pounds. That's a lot. It's a lot of weight. Even for the big meatheads out there, that's a lot of weight. If you put that same amount of money, about 150K, okay, a little over 150K, and you put it into gold, your wife would be able to put it in her purse, and you would walk out the door. I think the whole thing may weigh, 6 pounds, maybe, right? It'll fit in just picture a super small box. It'd fit in there, and you'd have room to add, another $500,000, That's how portable gold is. So if you're all freaked out about where to store it, I think it's going to be okay. Right? I think it's going to be okay. Oh, and how do you sell it? Oh, gosh, it's so difficult. I know. You got to call the 800 number. And all you got to do, when you're buying gold, I always tell you, just call up. Listen, it's so easy. I want the special. That's all you got to say. Because whatever we have on special that day, that's the best item we got. I want the special. We hit you with that really hard question. How many would you like? I know that's difficult. That's a difficult one. How many would you like? That's all there is. We give you a total. We ask you, do you want to pick it up in our office in Arizona or Colorado? Or would you like us to ship it to you? And then you tell us, well, I need it shipped. I'm not that close. It's $35 to ship, period. Whether you buy 5,000 or 500,000, it's $35. That's all it is. And we ship it registered, insured U.S. mail. Obviously, we'll take your name and your address. Right? If you'd like us to call you with a tracking number, we'll take your phone number. What happens after that? Absolutely nothing. We don't call you. We don't send you emails. We don't send you brochures. I mean, in 17 years, I think we've done 2 mailers in 17 years. And I don't plan on doing one anytime soon. So, but that's it. If you want to do more business with us, you call us. We don't sell your information to anybody ever. Privacy is huge with us. How about if you want to sell? You call the number and you just tell the girls, I'd like to sell. And I know we're going to ask you a tough question. What do you got? Well, I got a case of silver. I've got $10, $20 gold pieces or whatever it may be. We're going to give you a price right over the phone. And you say, yep, I want to lock that in. And you lock it in. And you can either bring it to our office here in Arizona or our office in Colorado. If you live far away, you ship it back to us the way we shipped it to you. Just that simple. Once we have the product, we'll write you a check. If you're bringing it into the office, maybe we'll, if we got the cash, we'll pay you cash. We can send you a bank wire. I mean, all the usual ways. There's nothing difficult about it. Now, there's companies out there, they want to make it difficult. We don't, because it's not that hard. You need to own some. Heck, I just told you. Even after gold got massacred yesterday, you're up over 45% at the same time the central bank is telling you your 401ks and your IRAs are up 6. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. When you think about all the things going on, changes in FDIC insurance now, the fact that according to the central bank, your 401ks and your IRA, they ain't getting it done. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to start putting some of that into gold and silver. And we do it better than anyone. We do it simply more. It's easy. We just want you to be treated with honesty and respect. That's it. At the end of the day, by doing that, you reorder and you tell your friends. We don't get complaints. We don't have fake reviews either. So I see all these companies with hundreds of reviews, right? And I laugh. I could get thousands of them. And ask every one of my customers, hey, will you write a nice review for me? They'd all do it. But I shouldn't get great reviews just for doing what I promised you I would do. And that's why you see, I don't have any complaints. We don't get them. Because, let's face it, we do a lot of business, tens of millions of dollars in business. And we sometimes things get screwed up, but they just call us. We take care of it. Always have, always will. Today, we've had a big move in gold, up almost $30 from the bottom. And, yesterday we were at $20.95, $100 off of where we were on Friday. Gold has moved. Gold hit a bottom of $18.50 yesterday. Right now, gold's on $18.84 right now, so up $34. Here's what I'm going to do. On $20 gold pieces, 1 through 9, 2,105. I got to bump it up $10. You buy 10 or more $2,095 today. So if you want to take advantage of the pullback, and again, I think this was well, let's just say I don't think it's nearly as good news as they wanted it to be yesterday. 10 or more, $2,095 at 800-951-0592. And I know a lot of you are like, man, I don't have $2,100. I wish I did. Here's what I can do for you on the $5 Liberties. That's the quarter ounce. I'll take $10 off of that one today. So that'll be $5.75. So you can buy a 20 at $21.05, 10 or more, $2,095, or $5 Liberties at $5.75. Those were out of stock last week, just so you know. So, by the way, and I know this, there was 200 of them yesterday. By the end of yesterday, there was 100 of them. By the end of today, we'll probably be back down to minimal supply. That's how quickly they go. $5 Liberties at $5.75. Silver Eagle still hearing. The Bullion Bank still has them. Silver's up almost a dollar from the bottom yesterday. Right now, rolls of U.S. Silver Eagle, $6.15 a roll. Buy a case at $6.10. 800-951-0592. Put away some gold and silver. And you know what? Just compare it against your other retirement vehicles. See how you're doing. Patriot Radio News Hour. Take care. God bless everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.